All right, so it's number 5 on lesson 2.4. Average rate of change. We want to find the change in y over change in x. So let's make our table. X is pi force. When x is pi force, let's think about unit circle. Pi force is in the middle of the quadrant. What are the coordinates at that point? Square root 2 over what? 2 and square root 2 over 2. So the first number is my cosine, the second number is my sine. So if I put cosine over sine, what's the cotangent going to equal? 1. Yeah. 3 pi over 4. That's going to be over here. So this time I'm going left. So it's going to be negative square root over 2. Again, I'm in the middle of the quadrant, so I'm going to use that middle value. I'm going up square root 2 over 2. So if I put cosine over sine, what's that going to come out to? Negative 1. Yep, so the average rate of change, just do change in y over change in x. So I'm going to do like 1 minus negative 1 on the top. On the bottom, I'm going to do pi force minus 3 pi over 4. That's going to come out to 2 over, what do I get if I take a fourth of pi minus 3/4 of pi? Negative a half of pi. Like that. Which, instead of dividing by a fraction, I can multiply by its reciprocal. I can multiply by negative 2 over pi. That's going to give me an answer of negative 4 over pi. So negative 4 divided by pi is my answer. Now, in our heads, let's think, could we estimate that in our heads? Pi is about what number? About 3, right? A little bigger than 3. So 4 over 3, this answer is going to be a little bit more than 1, like negative 1 point something. That's what it should get as a decimal. Now, let's put it on the calculator just to check, okay? To show you how it can be done with a calculator. It might save you some time if you want to do some of these on your calculator instead of using unit circle. That's fine with me. I think it's important to know how to do it both ways. So we're going to graph cotangent of x on our calculators by typing in y equals cosine of x over sine of x. Can you see it on there or not? And to move over further? I'm good? Okay. All right. So I turn it on, I go to y equals, and I already have it typed in from last hour. Cosine of x over sine of x. Now I'm just going to hit zoom trig to graph it. Zoom 7. That's what the cotangent graph looks like. And let's go ahead and hit trace pi divided by 4. And we can see that, let me straighten this out a bit. There we go. That point right there. This is pi over 4. This is 1. This must be our x-axis. This must be our y-axis. Okay. Now let's go to 3 pi over 4. So trace 3 pi over 4. Trace 3 pi divided by 4. Enter. Negative 1. Whoops. That didn't work. There we go. So here's 3 pi over 4. Here's negative 1. Here's our curve looking something like this. What I actually want, I don't want the slope at any given point. I want the average slope, the average rate of change, which should be the slope of this secant line right here. So all I do is change in y over change in x. Again, I just get the average rate of change, 3 pi over, whoops, change in y goes on the top. So let's go 1 minus negative 1 on the top. On the bottom, let's go, let's see if I started with 1, I have to start with pi force here again. Notice I'm getting the exact same thing I did over there. Now what you might want to do though, once you get that, is you could just type it on your calculator. If you'd rather use a decimal, some of the time, that's okay. I think you should know how to do both. So I could just hit second quit, parenthesis, 1 minus negative 1, parenthesis, divided by, and then parenthesis, pi divided by 4, minus 3 pi divided by 4. Enter. That's my answer. You want to 3 decimal places. Don't round anything until you get to the final answer. Don't round in your intermediate steps. Now over here I got this answer. So it should be the same if I'm right. Let's check. Let's take negative 4 divided by pi. Yep, same thing. So either answer would be fine. That's good. You can shut that off. I can get it. Any questions?